Heading out this morning to just do a little blueberry check. Reports that I've had from other people that have been out said that it's not a particularly good year for them, which is a bit surprising. We had a mild winter, a real mild winter. We didn't have a late frost, which is usually deadly to blueberry blossoms. If the blossoms happen to be out and we have a frost, it'll kill it for the year. Had plenty of rain this spring, more than average, as a matter of fact. And I've always been told that those little black flies are the blueberry pollinators. And there's been some controversy on that lately. I've read some articles where they know they are not the pollinators, but leave that as it may. If they are, we had plenty of those this year. So if there's not a good blueberry crop, then I don't know, there has to be another factor in there somewhere. And it might be that we had so little snow cover for most of the year. That may have affected it. But this is a spot I came across earlier this summer where there were a few greenberries, a few plants, and it looked like a place that could really produce. So we'll go out and we'll take a peek, see what we can find. This happens to be an area that was logged a number of years ago, and after it was logged, it actually burned. There's quite a little bit of indication that there was a pretty good fire that came through here, which in and of itself should be really good as far as blueberries. So that's typically what you tend to look for. You know, the story is that the original people here would actually go out and burn areas on purpose in order to encourage the blueberries to grow. So we'll see what we can find. Well, there certainly are some blueberries around. I wouldn't say there's a carpet of blue out here, but there's a few berries. It's going to be worth my while to spend a little bit of time. If you come out, number one, make sure you got a bug shirt. And I don't know, it's been my observation this summer so far is that bug spray by itself isn't enough. For some reason, there's a lot of bugs in there. They're pretty intense. Deer flies in particular have been one of the worst I've seen. Mosquitoes not quite so bad, but deer flies in particular. We're supposed to have a very hot day today, high 91, and so I'm here fairly early in the morning. I'm going to get some time put in the berry patch, where it's sun isn't very high and the temperature hasn't gotten up real high yet. So I want to get in here and get out of here before the predicted 90s get here. So we'll see if we can get an ice cream bucket full. I tend to be a real fair weather berry picker. I'm not somebody who can spend hours and hours and hours if the picking isn't good out in the woods. Unlike my folks used to, in blueberry season, whether it be a good crop or bad, go out in the early morning and pick late in the day, and wouldn't come home until they had their 10 or 15 quarts, and sometimes even more than that. Those genes I did not pick up. Most of the berries I'm seeing today are pretty small. There's a fair number of them, but they're pretty small, and they don't tend to add up very fast. You know, I'm at my best when I get to a place where there's this number of berries and they're good size, and I can sit down in a spot and pick for 20 minutes or half an hour and have 3 or 4 quarts of berries in my bucket. Well, that's not going to happen today. While I'm out here, I'm also watching for other berries. It does seem to be a pretty fair raspberry crop this year. Whatever conditions weren't right for the blueberries seem to be right for the wild raspberries, and quite a few of those. So I may have to come out and switch gears here and take a little time and do some of that kind of picking. I also happen to be next to a cranberry bog, and I checked the cranberry vines to see what was happening there, and I did not see a single piece of fruit set. So cranberries may be tough to come by this fall. People many times ask me if I ever encounter any bears out here while I'm berry picking, and in all honesty, I have. Not very often, but on occasion. I've had to share a berry patch with some bears. I'll pick on one side and they pick on the other, and for the most part they pretty much leave you alone. There was one spot that I was picking a few years ago where in the 25 minutes that I was at the spot, there was a sow and 2 cubs, a yearling bear, and an adult bear, all within probably 200 yards of me, and I got freaked out by that a little bit. I decided I was going to let them have the patch. So, but I do come out and I do take some bear spray with me. So in the unlikely event that we get into a dispute over whose berry patch this is, I'm going to try to even the odds a little bit with my bear spray to their strength and speed and ability to not be afraid of me. Bottom line, if you're a serious berry picker, or you're somebody that's only out to get some blueberries to put into your pancakes, or maybe make a pie or two or some muffins, it's definitely worth your time to come out and pick a few berries. If you're looking to fill up the freezer with gallon after gallon, you're a better picker than I am. Berry pickers tend to fall into 2 categories. They're either clean pickers or dirty pickers. Some people will go out and they just grab a bush and take anything that might be on that bush, including blueberries, green blueberries, leaves and twigs, and then worry about cleaning up once they get home. They're out there for volume. They're going to fill up some buckets. Clean pickers, on the other hand, tend to take their time and prefer to spend their time out in the berry patch picking than in the kitchen cleaning. So I tend to be a kind of a hybrid a little bit. I tend to be more of a clean picker than a dirty picker, but that's just my nature. Of all nature's bounties out here in regards to berries, I love them all. You know, strawberries, raspberries. Don't find many, but up here you'll occasionally find some blackberries, June berries. We do also have some pin cherries and choke cherries, although those tend to be made more into jellies than being put into pies or whatever. But of all of them, blueberries are my favorite. They are good tasting, And I just over the years have enjoyed them a whole lot more than others. I'll spend a lot more time out on a blueberry patch and any other kind of patch in order to kind of make a goal. Well, I'm going to sign off for now. It's really hot, it's really buggy. The berries are moderate, so I'm going to spend my attention and make my efforts into picking some berries and hopefully have enough to make a pie when I get home. So hope you enjoyed this little bit of update as far as the berry season is concerned, and we'll talk to you next time.